Hi, you guys. I just wanted to briefly come back to the Tamar and Kandi situation because Tamar was interviewed with the Breakfast Club a few days ago. And she was saying, because DJ Envy, I believe, asked her what was the problem. I just saw the clip. I didn't watch the full interview, but she was saying that Kandi called her a liar. And she said it had something to do with Todd. And I was thinking that too, because I think the last time they kind of had anything going was over a concert. Something happened backstage or something. And I believe she said that Todd was talking to her a certain type of way, right? And then Kandi came out on her blog and she was saying that that wasn't true, that Todd do not do that. However, Todd was going at it with Phaedra, right? And we saw that on the show. So she can't say that Todd will not get in a back and forth with a woman because he will, right? We actually witnessed that on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I think that she's trying to protect his image or whatever by doing that. But she should have talked that out with Tamar, right? That's how I feel about it. Because it's one thing if you're trying to do that, but if he really was talking to her a certain type of way, why? Because I don't believe Tamar is lying. That's where I am. I don't believe she's lying about that. Now, some people, and I was reading some comments, some people do. They think that she's not telling the truth because they think Kandi is perfect. Kandi do not lie. They was even saying that in the comments that Kandi don't lie. Like, Kandi is human like all the rest of us. She is flawed. She is capable of saying things that are not true or saying things a certain way, with some truth sprinkled in there. So I don't know, but you guys let me know what you think about that whole situation. Do you think that Tamar is making up this whole scene? And this happened, like I said, some years ago. I think she said 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I forget which one of those concerts, because, Escape have been on the road for a while, right? They had the Escape concert, their return, and then they went out with the Queens of R&B, right, from the show. With SWV and I think some other people the second time around were on there as well. And I think Tamar was one of those people. Like, she did some dates with them. And so she was on a tour with them at some point. And so, yeah, it's possible that something happened. And I'm not real sure. It could have been over her saying something about the restaurant or whatever. I don't really know what he was going on about. But I can see Todd doing that. Like I said, we saw him in back and forth with Phaedra. So he is capable of doing that. And then maybe she said something about Kandi and he was trying to, take up for his wife. I don't know. He could have been drinking. It could have been anything going on in that time. But to say that it just didn't happen, why would this lady lie about that? So it's that part for me. But you guys can let me know what you think about the whole situation as far as Kandi and Tamar. Sometimes these things they pop up. Just like she said, that happened like 3 years ago. Stuff go away and then people come back to them, right? And so you never know when Kandi's going to say something again or when Tamar will speak on something again. And then people are messy on the internet, right? They're pulling up this whole clip about her talking about Old Lady Gang. And so it kind of brings a lot of stuff back up, right? They probably both are like, okay, I'm going to let it go. And then people start like stirring the pot. So you never know when that will happen again, right? And when someone in the media, they didn't know that this was going on. And so now they're asking her, they're asking one of them about it. And I think that's what happened. Because people are saying that Old Lady Gang video of Tamar talking about Old Lady Gang is old. So why it came back up, I don't know. But what do you guys think about their back and forth? Do you think that Kandi will say anything else? Do you think Todd will come forward and say anything? Because he knows if he says something out of line to Tamar or not. You know what I'm saying? But maybe they feel like they don't need to say anything to her. But I don't. I mean, why? I'm just, like I'm saying, like, why would Tamar lie about that? And if you guys think she's such a liar, what has she lied about in the past? Because I don't know. I feel like she has strong opinions that I may not necessarily always agree with. However, she has a right to her opinion. That do not make her a liar, right? If you don't agree with someone. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about this conversation. Do you think, like I said, that Kandi will respond, or Todd, Kandi and Todd together? I think she did come bring her speak on it back. She may talk about Real Housewives or have some of the girls over there. So maybe some of this stuff will come up, maybe not. I don't know. I know at some point Phaedra is going to make an appearance on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, we don't know what that conversation is going to look like as far as where Phaedra left off with these ladies, right? And maybe they just won't bring none of that stuff up at all. That could be a part of what their agreement is with Bravo as well, that they don't even bring Kandi up. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Oh, yeah, and then the Jessie Woo, she started chiming in after Tamar's interview, and she was, saying some bootlicking type stuff. To me, this is my opinion. That's what you get over here, my opinion. Because like I said, Kandi is flawed as well, like everyone else. She's capable of, like I said, protecting her husband by saying, no, he didn't do that, when he, in actuality, may have done it. So, and women do that. People will do that. Like, men will do that for their wives. Women will do that for their husbands, for their children, for their family members. So it is what it is. But she started comparing them to Amanda Seales and Issa Rae, which I don't agree. I think that Kandi and Tamar had a friendship right outside of the business as well as in the business. But Issa Rae and Amanda Seales seem like their relationship was strictly business, right? And Issa Rae, as the creator, she has a right to say who she want to work with, who she don't want to work with. Even as an actor, Amanda Seales has a right to turn down work if she want to turn it down. She have a right to say, if somebody is a part of this, I'm not going to be a part of it. They both have their rights to their opinions. I don't see it the same as Kandi and Tamar, because Kandi and Tamar, they run around in the same circle of friends. They've been friends for many years. Friends. They don't just have a business relationship. So it's not the same conversation to me. And that's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think about what Jessie had to say, if you have an opinion about what she had to say. Do you feel like Amanda Seales and Issa Rae is the same conversation as Tamar and Kandi? I don't. I really don't. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.